Have you ever wondered how the other half sleeps? If you struggle to get good sleep, it could be because you're sleeping in the wrong place.
I didn't actually sleep so well last night.
Hey guys, I'm Martin here for Mattress Clarity, and today I'm going to talk about the 5 US cities that get the best sleep and the 5 US cities that get the worst sleep. And I will note that this information comes from a report compiled by Sleep Foundation that pulls from studies on depression, obesity, and health insurance rates. But right now, let's get to it. So let's start off with number 5 on the list of the cities that get the best sleep in the US, Lincoln, Nebraska. Now here I'd love to play the song Nebraska by Bruce Springsteen, but I'm pretty sure YouTube would take us down. But we're not here to talk about the boss, we're here to talk about sleep. And the people in Lincoln, Nebraska get very good sleep. Only 27.8% of their population gets less than 7 hours of sleep per night. That's better than the national average of 32.7%. And studies have shown that the citizens of Lincoln have more time to exercise and have better health insurance. Both these have been tied to better sleep quality. And to boot, it's also one of the quietest cities in the US. So now let's move over to the cities that get the worst sleep in the US with number 5, Toledo, Ohio. This is also known as Glass City because they are a major glass producer. But Toledo doesn't get the best sleep. They have a high number of uninsured citizens, and they also have higher obesity rates and depression rates as well. And all those metrics combine to create a pretty bad sleep environment. 40% of its citizens do not get at least 7 hours of sleep per night. With clean air and an active population, Denver scores number 4 on our list of the cities that get the best sleep in the US. The citizens here have a good amount of time to exercise every day, and also obesity rates are very, very low. And just a quick note on obesity. Obesity has been tied to other conditions such as sleep apnea, which is very, very poor for your sleep and your overall health. Even though it has a higher altitude, the air is very clean in Denver, and 27.4% of their citizens get less than 7 hours of sleep per night. That is a very good score. And moving on to number 4 on the worst list, we have Cincinnati, Ohio. And I'm sorry, Ohio, there are a lot of Ohio entries on this list. But I will say, I love Cincinnati. I lived in Ohio for 6 years, and Cincinnati has the best breakfast I've ever had in my entire life. They have this side kind of meat called geta. It's a mixture of pork and oats, and it'll rock your world. But I'm getting distracted here. 41.4% of their citizens get less than 7 hours of sleep per night, and fewer people in Cincinnati have health insurance, depression is up, and obesity as well. Now we've got number 3 on the best list, one of my favorite cities, Minneapolis. Now, I actually went to Swedish camp near Minneapolis. It's a very long story, and I don't want to get lost there, but I slept super well near Minneapolis. Like Denver, they have very clean air and a very active population. It's also a super bikeable and walkable city, so easy to get your miles or your steps in. And only 26.9% of their population gets less than 7 hours of sleep per night. Next up on the worst cities for sleep in the US is Newark, New Jersey. 42.8% of their population gets less than 7 hours of sleep per night. Their obesity rates are higher, and many of their citizens are uninsured. And again, both these have been tied to poor sleep quality. But I do want to say that one of my favorite birthdays was in Newark, New Jersey. I had the best time. I was stuck at this small bar waiting to go to the airport, and when all these people found out it was my birthday, I didn't pay for one single drink. I have a lot of love for people from New Jersey, Bruce Springsteen, and especially people in Newark. We're moving right up the list of the best cities to sleep, and Seattle, Washington is number 2. Light and air pollution are super low in Seattle. Also, obesity rates are low, and not many people are uninsured. 26.5% of their population gets less than 7 hours of sleep per night, so a very low number. And Soundgarden comes from there, so yeah, Seattle rules. Moving on in the list of the cities that get the worst sleep in the US is another Ohio city. That is going to be Cleveland. I'm sorry, Ohio, but 43% of their population gets less than 7 hours of sleep per night. Also, people in Cleveland have less time to exercise, and 42% of people there may be obese. Depression rates are also significantly higher, which again can impact sleep. Before we get to number 1 on the best list, I do want to shout out number 10, that is Austin, Texas. That is where we are right now, where I live. I love Austin, Texas. I sleep super well here. But I do want to get to the real number 1, which is Portland, Oregon. Only 26.2% of their population gets less than 7 hours of sleep per night. Plus, they have a very active population, and they're generally just a healthier city. And Detroit, Michigan is number 1 on the list of cities that get the worst sleep. 45.6% of their citizens get less than 7 hours of sleep per night. That's almost half the population. It also has much higher unemployment rates, which can lead to stress and poorer sleep. And I kind of want to end on that note, a more serious note. You'll notice that the 5 best cities for sleep are on the wealthier side, and the 5 worst cities for sleep are not very wealthy. And one of the things is when you have food insecurity, financial insecurity, is it can lead to poorer sleep. It is harder to get a good night's sleep when you're worried where your next meal is going to come from. But if you check the YouTube description below, you're going to find charities for all 5 major cities with the worst sleep in the US. Anything can help out.